Hi, how's it going? Mr. Loosley here. Sorry I'm out again today. We're grading 8th grade essays, but you just saw me, so it's not that painful. Separation. Maybe just for me. In any case, we're going to be working on your first body paragraph today and finishing that up. Yesterday we put in your evidence and an assertion, and today we're going to fill the space around it with wonderful, thoughtful writing. So let me show you how we're going to do that. First of all, we'll be working in your packet, so you'll need to open that up. You might need your DGO outline, but maybe not. Get those documents open, and you can pause me while you do it. Okay, once you've got them open, and feel free to pause me whenever you need to do this work. I would work and then pause rather than watch the whole video at once. We wrote yesterday an assertion, and we got our evidence in here. I made certain to include the title of my evidence and the author if there was one. Here's my title in quotes, and you'll notice that every word is capitalized except for maybe the word a or the word of. And here's my author. If I didn't have an author, I had a website, and that website should be italicized. So should the title of a biography. Okay, and I've got my title here too. So if you don't have those in place, you'll need to go back to yesterday's video and continue that work before you can really watch this. What are we going to do next? We're going to write a supporting detail statement. It's going to be pretty short. It's going to set up our evidence. So I've got to read this evidence to figure out what it's about. As Director of Personnel, Robinson sought to improve training and working conditions for employees and to keep the turnover rate low. He often went to bat for them personally too. Once he even testified in court on behalf of an employee accused of attacking a man with a knife. Whew. Sounds like he was really involved in the business. You know, I'm trying to figure out what this evidence is saying. So my supporting detail is going to set up that evidence. It's not going to state the specifics. I'm not going to talk about going to court to testify for an employee. I'm going to talk about how I'm going to call him Robinson. Robinson was not just a company mascot, he was deeply involved in the day-to-day operations of his businesses. So that's setting up my evidence. It's talking about what it's about. Okay. I think I need to clarify a little bit my evidence though. I need to give some context, and you probably do too. Before your evidence, you might need a sentence, maybe two, that explains what exactly is happening in your quote. Mine says as Director of Personnel, but it doesn't say where he was Director of Personnel. So I'm going to add a sentence here. After retiring from baseball, Robinson became a vice president at the coffee company Chock full o nuts. That was the name of the company. Okay, at the coffee company Chock full of nuts. Maybe I don't need the quotes around it. It's just a company name. That sentence, that context sentence, explains some things that are missing from my quote, like Director of Personnel where. You know, if you're going to have your evidence, we need to understand the evidence before we can read it. So that's not quite the same as the supporting detail, which is going to set up what your evidence will say. It's adding context. So reading over your evidence, consider whether you need a context sentence. Maybe you might even need two if it's complicated. In Beowulf, what we would write was, you know, when Beowulf goes to the fen, he's chasing Grendel's mother, and you'd explain the scene. We're doing the same thing here. Explain your quote a little bit. Okay, let's read it so far. Jackie Robinson's career in business is one reason he remains a leading figure in American society. Robinson was not just a company mascot. He was deeply involved in the day-to-day operations of his businesses. You'll notice the way that my supporting detail does not just repeat the assertion. If you are repeating your assertion in your supporting detail, chances are the problem's with your evidence. Your evidence isn't specific enough. It's basically just saying what your assertion says. And we talked about how that can lead you to be repetitive. That's a sign that you need to go back and choose different evidence. And it may be something that I had marked on your DECO outline. Okay, next, we're going to write an explanation. What does this show? This shows that Robinson was more than a figurehead or symbolic leader. He was a businessman who took action to better the companies he worked for and the lives of his employees. All right, I've got a couple sentences of explanation there. That's what you want. If you're just consistently doing one sentence, this shows, on to the next one, this shows, you're really probably not including enough explanation. Your explanation is a chance to explain what your evidence is saying, right? Sometimes it could feel like you're being a little repetitive with your explanations. If that's the case, try and go beyond repeating the evidence. You're not here to say this shows that Jackie Robinson went to bat for his employees and even went to court for one. I'm trying to show why this is important in Jackie Robinson's life. How does it connect back to my assertion? How does my evidence show the way he had a career in business that makes him a leading figure in American society? How did his business career demonstrate leadership? So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to connect my evidence to my assertion. What does it mean? Why does it matter? Right? One thing that you might do is start with this shows and then take it out. A lot of times that's a great way to get your evidence started. But if I read this sentence, this shows that Robinson was more than a figurehead or symbolic leader. The "this shows that" is not actually doing very much in the sentence. It's 3 words that don't add much to my writing. So I'm just going to get rid of it. Works fine without it. Robinson was more than a figurehead or symbolic leader. If you find that you start with "this shows" or "this proves" or "this demonstrates" and then you end up getting rid of it, that's fine. It led you to where you needed to go. All right, we're going to do the same thing for the second row, and of course we can't forget a conclusion. My conclusion is going to sound a lot like my assertion. Don't forget a transition here. I'm introducing a new idea. Furthermore is a good transition. Moreover, additionally, or sometimes it might be connected to time, right? Maybe you're going to talk about later in his career, or as a older man, or while working for or during his banking career, let's say, because that's what my next one's about, during his banking career. Those can act as transitions too. But even with that, I might still want a good, clear furthermore on there. Furthermore, during his banking career works just fine. So as you're writing your next supporting detail statement, which I won't repeat, you can go back and watch the video again if you need to know what it does. You're going to add a clear transition there. You're also going to add a nice conclusion. It is evident that Robinson acted as a leading figure in business following his baseball career. And that sounds a lot like my assertion. My assertion said Jackie Robinson's career in business is one reason he remains a leading figure in society. This says it is evident that Robinson acted as a leading figure in business following his baseball career. So once you've got your paragraph all written, you're going to be pasting it together. I have created for you in Google Classroom a document. it is a rough draft document. And what I need to see from you tomorrow is your complete introduction and first body paragraph. So once you've got your paragraph written, you're going to go ahead and paste it together. You'll find your document under classwork. If you've already made one, you can copy over what you've made into this one. I'd love to see it in classroom. So you're going to open this up. It's called Rough Draft Biographical Essay. You change the title. And change the associated information. First name will be yours, teacher will be me and maybe Mrs. Chilton. Class name will be Language Arts, 7 dash, and then your period. And then you'll start to paste together your essay. This is where we're expecting to see your work tomorrow for a homework check. You should have pasted together your introduction and first body paragraph. All right, good luck. I'll talk to you soon.